So for those of you who haven't been following my content for a while, which is unironically 99% of you, I have made quite a couple of Sonic videos. If you obviously couldn't tell, I am a huge fan of Sonic. And I absolutely love Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where I talked about for a full hour on one of my podcasts. So I figured it was finally time for me to do a full-on review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, because I think that this movie definitely did justice for the franchise as a whole. This movie single-handedly reminded people, oh yeah, Sonic used to be good, because it's no secret that the games haven't exactly met the audience's standard within the past couple of years. I know this because I still haven't played Sonic Forces, and I'm probably never going to because this is a Sonic product that didn't understand the importance of this franchise or any of the characters within it. I think I was actually broken by just watching people play it, but the same cannot be said for Sonic 2. This movie did not just do a great job of establishing the lore of Sonic further, but it did a better job of understanding these characters than any other Sonic product in a long time. One of those being, well, Sonic himself. For the longest time, I feel like Sonic just hasn't been the same. Ever since the Adventure era, there's always been those same personality traits Sonic has always had, but it all feels like a placeholder because that's what we, as the audience, remember about this character. He's adventurous, cracks jokes, and shows off, but it never goes outside of that. The games do a really bad job at expressing how those traits can affect people around him. In Sonic Forces, when Sonic gets captured and is presumed dead, nobody really seemed to care all that much. The game never took its time to explore how much Sonic meant to them. But Sonic 2 is perfect for recontextualizing Sonic's importance because his infectious personality inspires people. It inspired Tails. It inspired Knuckles. His knack for adventure and determination is why he has his friends in the first place. It has been that way since the early 2D games as well as the adventure games. But the effect Sonic has on other people is just kind of forgotten about in later games. There are a couple exceptions, but it feels like Sonic comes off more as annoying than actually inspiring to his friends, but also infectious to his villains. This is not the case with Sonic 2. We spend so much time with Eggman going out of his way to try and chase down Sonic in the final act because his carefree and rebellious energy affects his judgment.
Think about it. I live rent-free in this dude's head, so I go out there and rile him up.
He'll focus on only you, leaving himself open to a flanking maneuver from me and the Fox.
For a while, the games have always treated Sonic and Eggman's rivalry as a standard than actually trying to make it mean something, because this is Sonic and we must have Sonic try to defeat Eggman. Here, you can really just feel how far Eggman is willing to go to destroy Sonic. He absorbs the Master Emerald, practically losing himself and his humanity, and then later risks his plot of world domination for the sake of chasing after Sonic, giving Tails and Knuckles time to break into a Death Egg robot. He does all this just for the sake of defeating one Hedgehog. Sonic and Eggman had a really strong dynamic. The same can also be said when it comes to him and Tails. The dynamic between Tails and Sonic is just so wholesome and well thought out because Sonic just being himself is what inspired Tails to help him out in the first place. And can I just say that Tails might just be my favorite character in this entire movie? Because much like Sonic and Knuckles, Tails has had quite a character digression. He goes from this kid that learned to be independent and be a hero due to Sonic's influence, to being a jealous, scared, and obnoxious sidekick that cannot do anything without Sonic. The only time Tails has ever done something for himself after the Adventure era is when he saved himself from being turned into a robot in Sonic Lost World. Other than that, Tails just wasn't himself and wasn't that lovable sidekick who could very easily hold his own and learn to be the one doing the saving instead of needing to be saved himself. Tails in this movie just might be my favorite adaptation of this character. Because not only is it great to see how Sonic inspired him and building the friendship, but he is never put into a situation where he needs to be saved. Outside of where he got knocked unconscious shortly after capturing Knuckles himself. He uses his wits and his tech to progress throughout the journey, and he grows to be more confident in his abilities and ends up rescuing Sonic. Of course he gets scared and believes he isn't ready to join Sonic at the start, but he learns to grow more from that fear and uses compassion and determination, much like Sonic himself. See what I mean when I say that Sonic changes people? I know, real nuance is something Sega is afraid of now. Ooh, good writing!
Stop it, Patrick, you're scaring him!
But this movie does a great job of creating a unique and interesting version of this character. And it ties in so well with the themes of heroism. Because being a hero isn't just about saving people, or hell, even taking responsibility for other people, which is what the movie directly tells you. The more subtle message about heroism is that being a hero means that you have to inspire people and believe that people can change. Sonic has always been one to believe in second chances, looking back at Sonic and Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And that same aspect can be said here, where Sonic saved Knuckles despite Knuckles trying to kill him in the entire movie. Because Sonic knew from their fight in the mountains that he isn't evil. He's just misguided and manipulated to doing Eggman's dirty work. Knuckles was a serious highlight in this movie because he went from being something just used for jokes to being a tribal warrior misguided by the history he had with the Eagle Clan and the Master Emerald. His duty to retrieve the emerald and grow from the guilt he had from watching his father die led him to believe, well, anything. But I don't think that just really makes him dumb. I think it just makes him lost, clinging to his guilt and his missed opportunity to be a hero. But then he sees Sonic, someone who he was annoyed at and angry because of his arrogance and his jokes. But after Knuckles realizes that they've had similar fates, that arrogance turned into something more. Hope.
On the mountain, you told me you lost everything, the way I did. But you seem so hopeful and free. How did you move forward despite failing again and again and again and again and again?
Okay, I didn't fail that much, but I didn't do this all alone. I found a new family, new friends, and you can too. You don't have to be alone anymore.
Because that is who Sonic is. An adventurous, hopeful person who's willing to give someone another chance. To be a hero. Sonic and Knuckles' dynamic messes so well with the theme of this movie where they each get their moments to be a hero. The same can also be said about Tails. All three of these characters each get their own moment to change and be a hero, ending with this huge climactic final battle where all of them come together, have their moments to come together as a team to save people, and holy shit, this movie's so fucking good! Sorry, I got a little high myself. What I mean to say is that everything involving these three is so much better than all the human stuff in the movie. It's not like it's really bad, it's still a fun watch, but everything about the wedding is just such an awkward tangent to everything regarding the Master Emerald that it feels like you're not even watching the same movie. Establishing Gun was cool and all, but the way they did it was so awful. Their plan to catch Sonic was so convoluted, and they just hoped that everything would conveniently happen the way they wanted to. Like, how did they know Sonic would be there? If they didn't know Eggman was alive, then how did they expect to find Sonic at the wedding? What if Sonic just never showed up? Would they have to abandon Operation Catfish and just give everyone an Olive Garden gift card to be quiet about it? What is going on here? Okay, but I swear this movie is good, okay? All the human stuff doesn't last particularly long, but I do wish that a lot of it was cut so that we can make more room for the lore behind the Master Emerald. Because the movie pays very little lip service to revisionist history behind the Echidna and the Eagle Clan. I'm assuming that the movie was meant to end by Sonic explaining how both sides were wrong and fell into corruption over control of the Master Emerald. But I can only assume company meddling happened by Sonic awkwardly saying that he still has some growing up to do. Because immediately after, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles talk about establishing a new order for protecting the Master Emerald. So why was that the follow-up to Sonic saying that he's still a kid? What? Treating Sonic as Tom's surrogate son and him calling Tom Dad will never not be weird. It doesn't even feel like this was supposed to be in the movie. Look, I get that this is supposed to be a kids movie and we need those abrupt moments of pure kiddie filler, but I think what companies need to understand is that we are in an era that kids can understand slightly more mature themes. That's evident by a little Sonic game you might have heard about. It's called Sonic Adventure 2. I played this as a kid and still understood and enjoyed the maturity of the story and Shadow. I don't know, maybe they'll learn the lesson in Sonic 3 and just abandon the kiddie shit entirely and abandon everything with humans focused more on Sonic aspects, seeing as how those are the best parts of the movie. The thing about introducing more Sonic-esque aspects into a franchise is that it not only works for Sonic fans, but it also gets newer audiences more invested into a brand as a whole. Sonic has such fun and interesting concepts with his games, but I think introducing the Master Emerald that is tailored for this movie series is just enough for a new audience to get invested, but it doesn't overwhelm them. Because there's a lot more about Sonic that can be told on movie format, but most of it only works if you've been a fan for a while. Say you've never picked up a Sonic game. Say this and the first movie is the first you're experiencing this franchise. You start to learn more about Tails, Knuckles, and the Master Emerald, and then the next movie talks about a water god that serves the Master Emerald, followed by spirits, ancient manuscripts and temples, negative and positive entities of the Chaos Emerald, and the connection between the Chaos Emerald and the Master Emerald, along with time travel, and it's just too much. Having all this stuff packed to a single movie would easily drag new people away from the franchise as a whole. That's why I think that the Adventure SA2 is probably the best direction to take the next movie, because it's definitely more grounded and less chaotic than SA1. That is, if they remove the bio lizard. But I think if they stick to more grounded aspects of Shadow, Zero Robotnik, and the history behind the arc, I think that more and more people will start to love Sonic and would want to play the games. Because above all else, Sonic 2 takes the brand back to its roots. Back to when the series was actually good. Where they introduce a more mature storytelling, meshing well with the lighthearted fun through its gameplay. Where Sonic's importance and his friends all feel real and genuine. Back when the world made sense. The title has some semblance back to my Sonic 1 review where I said that it's fun. But here, I say that's actually great. It's actually written well instead of it being a turn off your brain movie. That and some of these shots do not need to go this hard for a Sonic movie. Obviously the jokes aren't that great, but there was such charm to it and it has more maturity to its storytelling and its messages that I think I have to give this movie an 8 out of 10. And you know what? Sonic 1 is going down to a 5 out of 10. And I think if they keep the same pace up, slowly introducing more mature themes about Sonic, while easing into the franchise's crazy concepts, while obviously cutting some things out for the sake of not overwhelming new audiences, then I think that Sonic might actually mean something again.
Agent, I want an update.
Still searching, sir. We haven't found any sign of Robotnik.
No one can survive that crash. He's toast. Good riddance. What a mess.
Sir, there's something else. When we were wiping Robotnik off our database, we found something. A file buried deep in our system and dating back over 15 years.
What was it?
Coordinates, sir.
Coordinates? To what?
A secret research facility. It was a black site, sir. Someone worked very hard to keep this hidden.
My God. Project Shadow.
An ultimate being for the ultimate power. Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow's moving unlike anything anyone's ever seen. It's almost like he's manipulating time and space itself. Codename the Eclipse Cannon. Get him into my helicopter. We're escorting him to Prison Island. Ugh, I don't have time for this. I won't fail you, Doctor. Not this time. I will pay you handsomely. Agent Rudes. What if Gun is just another military, hungry for power control over the world? Just fed by their own personal interests and not for keeping the people safe. It's finally time to go to the space colony arc.